Welcome back. It's been a little while since I've done any updates or videos, but been quite busy and it's just been odds and sods, little random tasks. One of the things that we've done is tidied up all the wires. I think I've shown it in a previous video. That was a hell of a mess. And previously, we've just been plugged into the outside. I've upgraded the batteries because the ones that came with the ambulance were dead. There's no point even trying to recharge them because they just weren't going to come back to life. So we've reinstalled the original ambulance lighting, which is white at the moment, and just over here on this cupboard door, change it to blue, and then back. Same old, same old. That's how lights work. We've all seen that before, I'm sure. I've got some lights outside, so now I'm going to move swiftly on to the next bit. I've not ordered a log burner, but I know that I'm going to order a log burner. So, out of all the bits that I've got scattered around on the floor in here, I'm going to try and make like a little, I don't know what it's going to be called, a box, a plinth, to match this sort of stuff. So, out of the offcuts that I've got laying around, hopefully I should be able to make a nice little unit that matches the rest of the frame in here. Here's all the offcuts that I've got. Got those down there. Those are the square bits. A couple of little rounded bits here. So these bits are like this. Got a nice soft edge on them. And then we've got this bit of cupboard over here. This bit's going to be a leg. That's the right length to be a leg, so I need to find another one of those, or a longer bit and cut it down. That lovely piece of paper on the floor, that's my cutting list. Just kind of doing the front main face for now, and then I'll work on securing it with this square stuff to the floor and the wall. I'd count that frame as being semi-successful. Just needs a top, the sides, the door making. I decided to put a door on it rather than keep it as shelves. So it's all been made out of original ambulance-y things. So that pile that was down there, been made out of that. I've also installed 3 fire extinguishers, just for taking £45 and under an hour's work. Just a bit of peace of mind for if ever there was a fire and I'm in the middle of nowhere. I can't remember what else I've been up to. Oh, and we've got gas. That was a hell of a palaver in itself. I had to drive an hour to go and get an empty gas bottle off a mate of mine. Drive back, wait a couple of days because I went over at the weekend, and then I had to go up the road, swap it in for a full one, come back, install it. So now we've got cold water, hot water, and we've got the stove for cooking as well. I'm pretty sure we've all seen a stove, so I won't show you that. And we've probably all seen hot and cold running water, so I probably won't show you that either. I'd love to regard myself as an intelligent human being, but every time I go up on the roof, I stand on the bit that I'm cutting out. I'll cut the line across there, across there, across there, across there. Not across there, that's already cut. I've cut 3 lines out of the roof. Every time I go up there, I catch myself just standing on it. Like, I'm going to be nominated for the Darwin Awards, I tell you. So if you haven't guessed it by now already, this is the part of the video where I'm cutting a hole or extending the hole from the original skylight to make a roof access flap so I can get out onto the roof. There's currently no flap on there, as you can see, but I'm just cutting up aluminium angle to make the bracing in the main frame around the hole. I didn't record the bit that's the making of the actual flap itself for the installation of the solar panels on there, but it's, without going into too much detail, it's quite a basic frame. I found it easy enough to construct, and this isn't something that I'm practiced at. This is like my first go at it, so it's perfectly able to be done. That's this end complete and done. It's only just sitting on there at the moment, because I'm still going to have to take it up, scuff up underneath, silicone it down, and then build up on the top. But this end here is 49.6 centimetres. This end here, 49.6 centimetres. 105 centimetres. 105 centimetres. And point to point matches perfectly as well. That's 116. 116. So considering that this isn't what I do for a living, I'd say that's within tolerance, because it's not even a millimetre out across. The cuts here could do, right, this is probably the worst join in the corner, but by the time I'm finished, you're not even going to see that, so I'm quite happy with that. Now the bottom layer of the sill has been lifted and silicone down, I then moved on to building this upper lip to give like an upstand to keep the water out. The lid now closes over that. That whole entire piece is made of one piece, so over in the back right there, as you can see where I am now, that's the only join to make that whole thing. By cutting out little triangles and then heating it and bending it, I was able just to get it in one piece, just to minimise the amount of connections and potential leaks, potential problems that I have later on. As you can see, loads of screws. You can't really go too wrong with screws and silicone. And this is essentially the process of bending the aluminium to make the brackets. Any bits that I've bent, this is actually part that went into the flap rather than the seal around the hole, and I didn't really get too much video of that, like I said earlier. So it's pretty much just imagine me sticking a load of bits like this together and a sheet over the top. That's pretty much how that went.
My body never known.
I think I've just about finished the basic parts of the flap. We've now stuck gas struts on it, so it lifts up all the way. Literally just lifting it that much, which is nice. And you just close it down, still got to put the handles on it. And the clips on the inside, insulate it, make it look a little bit prettier than what it is. And that'll be that done, and then you just got to attach your solar panels. Put a nice little handle on it, which is from the original ambulance, and put a little light. So look, if it's dark out, you can see the ladder when you're climbing in, and it's just a light for the rear deck as well. Roaming around up here in the dark is going to be pretty dangerous.